Hello everyone, this is Stephen Quigley and this is my tutorial on Adobe Illustrator. We're going to get started on turning yourself into a cartoon. We're opening up Adobe Illustrator, creating a new project, getting the artboard in the background, and then we're going to place our image. So we're going to go find our image and double click on it and bring it in, make sure it's going to be large enough so that we can work with it. We can scale this picture by pushing down on Shift and resizing it. Now what I'm doing is I am creating a bunch of layers, and we're going to use layers to build our cartoons. The first one I'm going to name shirt, and I'm going to go find the shirt material. I went and I got a color dropper, and I am picking the fill color and also the border color. I control the size of the border color right here, and now I'm going to start drawing my shirt. If your workspace doesn't look like this, you can go into View and you can find the workspace that says Classic, Essentials Classic, and that's the workspace I like to work from. So here we are working around the shirt, and we're going to just keep working around. Trying to be as neat as we can on something big like this. You don't have to be super precise, and just work your way around as I'm doing here. If you notice, I started at the bottom of the neckline. That was a little bit easier for me to kind of track and see where all the different parts were. So now I'm going to create my next layer, and this next layer is my hair. So I'm going to click off the screen. There's a lot of clicking on and off of objects. That's one of the annoying parts about working on this. You always want to keep clicking off of whatever it is you're working on. Now when I got the dropper, I'm finding a nice color for the dropper to work on, and I've got my pen tool. One thing that I haven't done, and I realized, is I haven't gotten my border shading, so I just did that right now, and I'm making sure it's the right size. And here I am starting with my hair. I'm going to start, since I'm kind of moving around in this counterclockwise fashion, I'm going to start in that bottom kind of right hand corner, okay, at the furthest part away, and that's going to help me work without kind of covering up what I'm working on. There's lots of other tricks to do this. You could just start by making your fill color blank and then changing the fill color later on, but I like to do it this way. Everybody works a little bit differently, and I think you learn a lot by watching how other people work through these sorts of tutorials. So here I am moving around on the hair. Okay, so again, I'm going to be clicking off of my artboard, and I continually have to do that. I want to make sure that I'm not highlighting any particular asset. I'm going to work in that same color with my eyebrows now, and I'm going to move around in that same fashion. And for this, I blew up this design a little bit. I did that just by putting my two fingers on my touchpad on my Mac and spreading them apart, and that let me zoom in a little bit. Got my hair layer, working on my other eyebrow now. So the next thing that I need to work on is skin tone. So I'm going to work on that now. There will be a problem once I complete my skin tone, and it has to do with the fact that my order of arrangement is kind of it's gonna hide some things, so I need to mess with that arrangement a little bit, but I'm just gonna go ahead and work on this, and you'll see what happens, so you can learn from what I'm doing here. So I'm trying to find a decent skin color to work with. I don't totally need that shading because everything that I'm moving around already has that I shouldn't say shading, sorry, that outline. And as you can tell here, it is covering up those eyebrows, so I will have to mess with the hierarchy here of my layers. I'll show you how to do that. It directs me. So I'm going to click off the artboard again. That's always super important. And now I'm going to go to my next layer. But even before I do that, I want to show you we need to bring those eyebrows back. So I just did that. I flip-flopped the layers. I brought the skin down to the bottom in terms of layers. I can also hide it by hitting that eye button, so I can show it or hide it. Alright, so hiding it allows me to work on other features that I need to work on, like a nose and a mouth and a chin. I'll get to those. So I'm finding a color. That's not the best color. In a little while you're going to see me use that same color on my teeth. It's not always a good color to use. Sometimes our actual colors don't work so well in the comic medium. So we're going to work around my eye here in the same manner. I've got my outline. That's always nice to have. To add effects, I'm zooming in here. Now we need to be a little more precise. It's better to go smaller on the eyes than larger, in my opinion. And I'm going to find my ellipses tool. Okay, zoom in so I can use it. Go up to the upper left-hand corner and then pull that circle across. So here you see me drawing on another pupil, or a pupil, and I'm just going to copy and paste that and bring it over. Okay, and actually I just brought it over. I didn't copy and paste, and you'll see that I pasted it and brought it over, and now I'm just selecting both of these pieces, and I'm just bringing the eye over to the other side. So now when I show that background of my eye, okay, I'm going to have starting to be comic-fied. Always important, like I said before, to click on and off, to turn on and off layers so that you can work a little more easily. There's lots of ways to do a nose, but I like to do it pretty simply. I'm going to use the draw tool again. I'm going to get rid of my fill color this time. Alright, now I'm going to add a couple more details like a chin and draw on a little more details for my shirt. So we'll get to that right now. And I think we are about done. So that's about as much detail as we need for this particular work. Not a bad looking guy, if I don't say myself. And now we're going to go up and we're going to save this Adobe Illustrator file. And that's all this is. It's not something that any sort of computer or anything besides Adobe can read. So we do want to save this in case we want to go back and do some work on it. But we also want to export this file as an image. And I usually turn my comics into PNGs. That way they're easily scalable. So I'm going to do that and download it to a place that I know where it is on my desktop so I can find it, make sure that resolution is high. I'm going to open it up, and here is that finished product. Well, I wish you luck in your efforts to cartoon yourself. This is just step one. In the next tutorial, I will teach you how to take all of these elements and create a sequential comic. Thanks very much.